music?
So I was actually a tour manager before. So I did a job behind the scenes of music for an artist called Sam Divine, Undefected.
Mm-hmm.
So she was massive, so I was kind of everywhere, like at every party, and I kind of fell in love with DJing. When you watch somebody, like they literally have the crowd in the palm of their hands. It's like it's insane, like insane. So I just kind of knew that was what I wanted to do. So I went to like a DJ college and did like 12 weeks there, and then at the end of the college, if your mix was good enough, then they'd put you forward for a gig at Ministry of Sound. So I got the gig at Ministry of Sound. That was my first ever club gig, but I didn't even do like a Wetherspoons bar, you know, like I went straight into Ministry, which is like one of the biggest sound systems in the country. And I remember pulling the fader up and the sound just smashed me in the face, and I was like, I'm so not used to this. I've only been in a little studio, but straight away I fell in love with it, and it was just the best thing ever. And I feel like it's just gone, like people say like the rest is history, but it literally is. Like next year's gonna be 10 years for me as a DJ and producer.
Oh my god.
So I'm really happy and excited. Production for me sort of came during lockdown when we lost the dance floors, so I kind of felt like, am I going to be able to go back and do what I love? So I was kind of almost forced into production, which is something I never really wanted to do, but now I actually love it more than DJing. The creativity in it, like sitting in the studio with you guys, like I think vocalist and songwriting to me is like mind-blowing, so I'm having so much fun exploring that. So like you?
Yeah, so I feel like music's always been my outlet, like therapy.
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of creatives feel like that, and to be honest, it was like the only thing that I was like semi-good at in school.
Same.
I just didn't feel, I've never passed marks still to this day.
I think I'm the same as well.
I think I got like F's all the time. And I just, like music was just like always something that I gravitated towards, and I've always been passionate about. I always used to like sing when I was a kid, and I always used to sing with like one of our neighbours, and then one of my other neighbours like overheard one day like me singing outside, and they like went and told my mum and dad, and they were like, you know, Harley, we think Harley's a really good singer, and like, you know, she's like, take it seriously.
You've got that neighbour to thank now.
I know, you know, so then that's the thing about it. Probably did like, she was the reason for it.
I know right there.
You're a bit of a plot for the song. Yeah, but so I feel like from then on I started taking it seriously, but like ever since I was young I've been creative, and like the writing side of it, I think I started when I was like 12, 13, like I'd have like a diary,
so young,
write stuff in my diary, and then I was like, you know, I'm going to make this an actual thing by like making it to songs. And I just kind of built it from there, and I feel like I've like grown as a person, and like the more I've wrote, like the better I've got as a songwriter. So yeah.
What's been your biggest records?
So Lonely, definitely, probably, it was big.
How did that come about?
It's mad. I'm just gonna like show it.
I know, just noticed. Promo.
Free promo. Yeah, you're welcome, Joel. So I actually wrote that with obviously Joel and my friends Lewis Thompson and Rob Harley.
Wow, our team.
Yeah, so we were at Rob's place, this was like a few years ago now, and we were just kind of like writing songs, and we hit a bit of a wall, so we like took a bit of a break, and then we came back to the room, and then Lewis just started playing these like chords, and I just like came out with Just Because You're Lonely.
It's a great song.
But it was like it was Go Back to the Dark, I think it was at first.
Yeah.
So obviously from then on, like we kind of like built it even more, and obviously changed the lyrics to the start and like made more sense of it, because I think like I just said it without realising what the actual concept was.
Yeah.
Like chatting shite. So yeah, it's mad though, like how ideas can just come from like little pea brain.
I get it. Do you feel like you've had any like struggles coming into the music industry? Like obviously when you go up to that level of big records, did you feel the pressures? Because I for sure did after Temptation.
Yeah, it's weird. Like there's so many highs and lows to the industry that not everyone, I guess, sees, especially if they're not in it. And I feel like the pressures of like songs to constantly be doing well and like hitting certain numbers, and kind of
you concentrate on them, don't you? Yeah. I find myself consistently looking at Spotify, listening, like looking at who's listening to my records right now, how many streams have we done. But I think you need to take that aspect away from it, because that then pulls you out of the enjoyment of what you're actually doing it for.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing it for the love of music.
Yeah.
Like the pressures to stay like relevant and stuff. Like after Temptations and Me, we obviously, it went so big so quickly, and then the next one I did, it didn't go as big. And I remember my like music manager Anton said to me, don't look at that. Like you're not just going to have like hit, and you don't want to have hit. Like you want to have the ones that are sort of like not fillers, but like they're just solid records that are timeless. You know, not just like a banger that's going to be big for a minute and then what's the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get it.
And not every song, I guess, is going to do as big as the last one.
Of course.
And like you can't even predict it as well. Like, you know, I think you can overthink the process and be like, I don't want to release this because I don't think this, or do you know what I mean? And it's like songs can come out and do mad things.
I think going into a session like in your mindset, like we're going to make a hit today, it's like
the worst.
It's the wrong
Every
thing
time
to
I do that, I come out with either nothing or really like. That was a great session. Like, the ones that fall together, like Temptation for me, just fell together so quickly, and we genuinely had, none of us in the room had no idea that it was going to work like it did. Like I for sure didn't, and I think we're on like 25 million streams now. It's mad. So I think just trust in the journey and just trust. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
trust your power. I think.
Yeah, I agree. So, who are your musical influences?
Massive one for me is Golden City.
Nice.
Which is why I love the pod that we're doing so much, because it is so that vibe. Like it really does.
Yeah.
Gorgon City for me have always been like the goal, because they dip in and out of deep house, and then they do like the big warehouse terrace dubs as well, which is something that I like doing. I like the deep stuff, but then it doesn't work for me on the club because I'm doing peak time sets now. So how they do it is very much like a similar formula that I will follow.
Yes.
I also love Hannah Woods. I think she's putting up
she's
incredible records. I'm very lucky that she's a friend of mine as well. So I get all the records before they even go out. So I just get to slam in the clubs, and like she's amazing, man. I think she's been so great. And MK for me.
Oh,
who doesn't love MK? MK's the king.
Yeah, I love MK.
What about you?
Oh, it's very like, I feel like I used to listen. Well, I still do, but Avicii was like very inspiring to me getting into dance music. For sure, I think Calvin Harris is just unbelievable. Amy Winehouse.
I noticed the tattoo. Who doesn't love Amy Winehouse?
Yeah, she for me, like my dad got me into her music when I was a kid. Like she'd be playing in the house, and I just like found myself, I don't know, very intrigued by her, and like
the rawness of it.
Yeah, it is the
honesty in her music.
Yeah, and she was just like so like unapologetic, and like she just wrote from the heart, and she just wrote like real stuff, and it was just very like, I just like how open she was as a person and as a writer. And Adele, I mean,
who doesn't love her?
I don't think she's ever collabed with anyone, but I really hope that changes one day.
I'm playing in Vegas and I looked to go and see her. 30 grand a seat. I was like, not there yet. Maybe 2 more years of DJ and we can get I'm all right. What about dream collabs? Is there anybody that you would love to work with?
Well, I was going to say Adele, because she's never collabed with anyone before
in dance.
Just, I don't know whether she can do dance. It has to be a bit very different vibe.
Maybe you could go a songwriting like collaboration with her.
That's a good idea.
Get a vision board.
I'd love to like write a song for her, or with her or whatever. But yeah, I just think she's great. Definitely Calvin Harris. He's always been like one of my dream collabs. Dom Dollar. I'm really into like Dom Dollar's kind of like twist on things and how he makes music. There is a few. What about you?
I would love to do something with John Summit.
Nice.
I think he's way out of my league though at the minute because he's a superstar now, but I love John's music.
Yeah.
I've watched him grow from like nothing, and to watch the force that he's become in America as well is just like insane. And Gorgon City, I would love it.
Yeah.
I think for me it's more about like ticking off vocalists. Like I actually prefer vocalists than I do working like trying to go for an artist. Like for example, you were one, like you were one for me that I wanted to work with. So, and I'm so happy it just fell together so naturally on this one. And Jem Cook as well was one on there, and I've just got a top line from her. So
amazing.
Having a great year, great year. Thanks.
I'm just gonna keep pumping them out.
Yeah, man, I'm happy. So, what is your favourite part of like putting a record together? Is it like the songwriting? Is it being the studio with other artists? What do you prefer?
I mean, all of it's pretty mad, but I think for me, I was going to say performing, but I think actually like the idea, like before the actual song, because I just think the way it can like come about is pretty mad. Like I've made songs, like concepts have come to my head like when I've been asleep, when I've been in the car, when I've been on the toilet.
Do you have to like get up and get it in the notes quickly?
Yeah, like if I'm going to sleep and an idea like pops in my head, like, I have to like get it down, even though I'm like, oh, I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to forget it. I've had like ideas in my dreams, like when I remember the next day.
That is nuts.
Like just when I'm like, you know, on the toilet, in the bath, in the shower, honestly, like anywhere. I just feel like that coming from God knows where, and then becoming put into the world that everyone like relates to and whatever. And it's just like that to me is like pretty mad. What about you?
I really enjoyed the actual writing session, like sitting down with the songwriters and you guys, and it's a therapy session.
Yeah, it really is. We love
like,
therapy session.
Yeah, like people don't get it when I say like music is therapy, but like unless you do it, you know, like Colourblind and Temptation, we literally sat with like Hayley May, Poppy Baston, Pippa, and we just like, I told them like scenarios or situations that I was going through in my life. Like Colourblind, for example, is written about my partner and how like she's been there for me through like a really dark time when I thought life was black and white, and it made me feel colourblind, and she brought the colour back into my life. And we just all wrote it together, and it was just, that was when the magic happened. And I think when the song is done afterwards, like that's great when it's finished, but when you're actually there writing and like kind of like being honest and bearing your soul, I feel like that's the best part of it.
Yeah.
So, and that's where all the talent is. Like, I will never understand how you guys write songs. Like, it's
great. It doesn't come. So like,
I get it. Yeah, I've been in sessions like that. Yeah, I've been in sessions with like big artists that, and the way that I thought we would go in and do something great with, and then just was a bad day. It sucks. It's hard, isn't it? Like, it's like writer's block is actually a thing.
Yeah, some days it just doesn't work. Like, I think it depends like what mood you're in, or like, you know, what's going on in your life, and I feel like just for me as well, because I write so much, sometimes it can feel like I'm saying the same thing, unintentionally. But you just gotta like find a different way to say it in a more creative, different way. But you know, it happens to.
Is it hard for you when you're like bouncing around? Say, do you have like weeks where there's like 5 sessions or something in a week? Is it hard like on your brain trying to?
Yeah, I mean,
to keep churning out tracks.
I've had like 3-4 sessions max now, because that is like way too much. Because I just think like, again, like you're probably going to end up writing the same thing without realising. I do tend to copy myself by accident a lot as well. Like I'll do a session, I'll go to another session of like, that sounds familiar, that I've actually done it in another song. But you find inspiration from everywhere and everything, and I just feel like
100%.
Yeah.
So mine would be, I think it was maybe 2 New Year's Eves ago, I had like a little bit of time out just to sort of collect myself again after a really busy summer.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to do any shows over sort of Christmas and New Year. I was going to just take that off and just regroup and have January free. But then Warehouse Project in Manchester came in on New Year's Eve. It was obviously like a no-brainer for me to do it because I love the venue. And I played, I think it's called, I can't get the rooms mixed up, but I think it was the Concourse.
Okay.
But it's the room in the big warehouse that has a 360 booth. So there's people everywhere, like Barney Dijon Boiler Room, if you've seen that one, you can't escape, there's people everywhere, and it's just, it's incredible. Like, I did it sober as well, I didn't even have like one drink, you know, like to calm the nerves, as they say. So you just like, it was electric.
Yeah.
And I played a set that I don't think you'd normally hear in Wales Project, like it was all sort of like deep house classic bangers. And it so worked, and I'll never forget it, because it just came at the right time. Yeah. And I wasn't sure whether to do it or not. And afterwards, I was just like, I went to the green room and just like burst into tears of like overwhelmment, because I was just so happy that I got to do it. Warehouse Project's epic, man. What about you?
Mine's a bit of a weird one, because I feel like I wouldn't have said it was my favourite until I realised how it made me feel after I did it. So like, I was doing, I think it was Radio 1 Weekender with Joel, and I just like that day for some reason, like I have got anxiety anyway, but it was just that day it was just 10 times worse. I think it's because I had in my head that it was live, it was being filmed.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
It is like a massive crowd, you know, pressure. There's like so many other artists as well.
I don't know how you guys do it, stand on the stage.
It literally like, I was doing this, just talking about...
I could hide behind desks.
Oh, yeah.
You're so exposed.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, exposure. And I'm very picky as well, so like all of that combined is just a big fat mess. But anyway, yeah, so I was on stage, and I think for the first like 10-20 seconds I actually couldn't hear myself.
Or
I was
no,
like,
no,
oh, no, please, please, please. So I was kind of like looking over at the...
So do you hear yourself in the in-ears? So I don't understand. Oh,
Yeah, it is weird.
That's a lot.
You can't really hear the crowd. So I couldn't hear myself for like only a little bit, to be fair, that it was fine. And then I kind of like got off stage and everyone was like, oh my God, that was great. My dad texted me like, that was amazing. Like, love you and you smashed it. But me, I was like,
you didn't
that
know.
was the worst thing. That was the worst performance I've ever done. I'm so shit. I'm quitting music. And then it wasn't until I got home after, I think I did like 3 shows that weekend. And my mum and dad were like, right, can we just all watch it back together because I want you to like know and see like how the two actually were. I really don't want you to be hard on yourself. So they put it on, and then like the first like 10 seconds I was like, like crying my eyes out. I was like, it was just like so overwhelming. I was like, do you know what? I actually like,
look what you just done.
yeah, I've just done that like that. Do you know what I mean? And it was fine. I didn't look like I wasn't having a good time. I looked like I was having a great time.
Good.
Everything was fine. Like, do you know what I mean? I think it was nice to like the realization of that.
Of course.
But it just made me like love it even more. But I think that was probably the most special, just because of like the 180, like the feeling.
Of course, that's one of the bucket list.
Yeah.
At Radio 1. Wow.
Yeah, but it was crazy.
Well done, you.
I know.
That's what anxiety will do to you.
It's imposter syndrome.
Spread it, literally. You actually feel like sometimes, why am I doing this job? I'm not good at it.
Yeah,
you are good at it.
Yeah, it can be horrible, but...